And welcome everybody to Tailgate Tuesday live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is round 12 of the 2021 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season, hosted right here at Charlotte. It is the Education 200. We have 20 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series drivers out there logging laps right now in Stage 1. Stage 1, 30 laps in length. Expect these drivers to be on pit road once here in Stage 1 if it goes green the entire way, and ever since we've dropped the green flag, that has been exactly how it has been here so far at Charlotte. Jordan Green, six-time NASCAR champion, on the pole for this race in the 00 Chevy Silverado. He led the opening 4 laps. Since then, he's lost touch out of the top 5, currently scored in the 8th position. Right now it is Nick Francesco and the number 24 out front leading the way. He comes into this race as the points leader, followed closely by Stephen Corley in the number 99, Alex Tesdall in the 88, Jesse Carlson in the 88 rather, and Alex in the 98. Get those mixed up sometimes. I'm NASCAR CEO Tyler McMurder, and strap yourselves in. We're bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage of the Education 200 here at Charlotte. Nick in the 24 leads the way. He's got to win this season, is the points leader. He's locked in to the playoffs, being chased and hounded now by Stephen Corley. He, of course, won the Holiday Batch 200 race at the Homestead Miami Speedway earlier this season. That was his first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win. Now he's closed all the way up on the tailgate of Nick Francesco. Once Stephen was able to get away and get a little bit of breathing room from his 2 Steel Horse Motorsports teammates running 3rd and 4th, Alex and Jesse, he was able to get a bit more speed, and he was able to utilize every inch of the racetrack, and now there he is, battling for the lead. Land Shark, the number 26 truck, runs in 5th, and he's being challenged by Jordan Roughton, the number 17 Ford F-150. And it's about an 11 truck pack right now, leading the charge around this racetrack. 20 drivers started this one. They're coming up on Jason Armstrong, the number 15 Ford F-150. They're going to put him a lap down here, and I didn't see what happened to him, but something definitely had to have happened to the 15, or else he wouldn't be this far back this early in the going. We're working Stage 1 of the Education 200, just getting started. Charlotte Motor Speedway. Full distance races, presets on these trucks, and the fuel and tire wear is at ×2. So these drivers are getting about 24, 23 laps in a fuel run, and they're going to have to pit once here if this entire Stage 1 stays green. It is a 30-lap Stage 1 event. It's getting a little dicey for 3rd and 4th. They're 3 wide, bouncing off each other. Jordan Roughton all the way to the bottom. Left side's on the white line. Even he was trying to make a move on both the Steel Horse Motorsports Fords and nearly pulled it off, but nearly a bit of a slide job in the process. There's Harold in the 56 truck, close in tow. Land Shark in the white and orange 26 Silverado. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 Toyota Tundra. Jordan Green in the dark blue 00 Chevy Silverado. Cameron Norton in the 3. And these drivers are all inside the top 10. Oh, up into the wall goes the 21. That's Robert Lohman Sr. He just run a lap down to the race leaders a moment ago. Everybody safely gets around him. Battles all over this racetrack. The battle for the lead still looks like this. Stephen Corley all over the tailgate of Nick Francesco. Jason Armstrong in the 15 is now the first truck 1 lap down, so if he is to somehow stay there at the end of Stage 1, or whenever a caution may fly, he would get back on to the lead lap. Right now he is battling with Robert Lohman Sr. for that first truck 1 lap down spot. To the inside goes Stephen Corley. This is the front stretch now. Nick led that lap, but now going into turn 1, Stephen has position and has the advantage, and he's going to take the lead from Nick Francesco. First laps all race long. Stephen has led. We've had 3 different leaders so far. The pole sitter Jordan Green, Nick Francesco in the 24, and now Stephen Corley in the 99. Both these drivers have a win. Both these drivers are locked into the playoffs. At this point, both drivers just trying to add to the playoff point total, position themselves as high as they can in the playoff point standings once the postseason begins, and both of them doing an exceptional job at that. 2 drivers to look at for the win every week, and Land Shark in the 26 truck on pit road. I believe that this is a scheduled pit stop. He's electing to short pit here in Stage 1. And a couple of others coming with him. Beam SKP in the 16 Toyota Tundra for Rockstar Racing comes to a stop in his pit box as well. So maybe these aren't early pit stops. Maybe these are completely normal. We might expect a fleet of these trucks on pit road very soon. Oh, Cameron Norton in the 3, wiggled a little bit there. Jordan Green to the bottom, looking for the position. Cameron's going to take the 7th position away from Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. Jordan Green in the 00 right there as well. And now more green flag pit stops beginning. We saw Jesse Carlson pull down pit road, and he's on a bit of a streak, folks. 2 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series wins in a row. Excuse me, 2 in the last 3 rather, but still very impressive, and comes in with a good truck. And those Steel Horse Motorsports Fords have been coming with strong equipment every single race. Dave Marks Jr. in the 4 for Rockstar Racing. That Toyota Tundra leaving his pit stall now, getting back onto the racetrack. And we're going to keep our eye on the race leader, Nick Donfrancesco. He's yet to come to pit road. And more pit stops. Cameron Norton, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Jason Armstrong. We can tell you that Stephen Corley has also come to pit road in the 99. There you see him. This leaves only a few trucks left onto the racetrack that have not come down for scheduled service, and I gotta wonder how much time they're giving up to the drivers that are on the 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, and also gotta wonder if maybe there's some sort of strategy in mind. If these drivers can get close enough to the end of stage 1, they might elect to go with maybe right sides and a splash of fuel instead, and try to go out there and get the stage win. But then again, having 4 fresh tires sooner, that might make up for that gap that these drivers might get from spending less time on pit road. So we'll have to see what strategy works out the best. Nevertheless, it's still the 24 logging laps and leading the way here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's really got these trucks figured out. Points leader coming in, and also should mention he just recently made the Final 4 for the Giggity Racing League Truck Series, and was also their regular season champion in the trucks this year, so it's on a roll in these trucks on NASCAR Heat 5. And how about Beam SKP? Lone full-time NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series driver out of France, and just recently finished in 22nd in the qualify round for the Winter Heat Series here on NASCAR Heat 5 in the A class, and showed good speed there, and he's really excited for the NASCAR Truck Series event at the Indy Roval, which is the next race after this one. Just behind him, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., his teammate there, Rockstar Racing. Former NASCAR champion on the NASCAR 15 game, solidly running inside the top 10 still. And has been since the drop of the green flag. He actually gave a little bit of a nudge to his teammate there. Beam went up the hill, had to chase that truck a little bit, kept it out of the wall, and Jeffrey's going to take the spot. Next truck for him to battle for position would be Cameron Norton in the 3. You can see him flashing into the camera view every now and then. Next one in front of him would be Alex Tesdall in the 98. Nick Donfrancesco is on pit road getting service, and we just tuned into him, so I'm not too sure if he's getting 2 or 4. Nevertheless, here is Stephen Corley coming through 3 and 4. He is the closest challenger amongst all the drivers that have already made their green flag pit stops. Harold Burden in the 56 is running behind the 99 of Stephen Corley, and that's putting him in 3rd. Out comes Nick Donfrancesco, and he's going to fall in line behind Stephen Corley and ride in 2nd. Might even ride in 3rd behind Harold Burden. There you see him. That's what the gap looks like. Harold's got 2nd. Nick Donfrancesco's got 3rd. Jesse Carlson in the 88 running in 4th. Lance Shark in the 26 runs in 5th. Jordan Roughton in the 17 runs in 6th. And they're all trying to chase down Stephen Corley before the end of stage 1. The question is, do they have enough time to do it? I know that Nick Donfrancesco has the freshest tires amongst all the front runners. He just came off pit road, but it's got quite the gap that he's got to close in order to challenge for this stage 1 win here in the Education 200 at Charlotte. Can't say enough about the mile-and-a-half program for Stephen Corley, especially here in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. He's also been a standout in the 2021 NASCAR Motormaster Series in the Xfinity cars here on NASCAR Heat 5, and putting on another good display of speed and determination and smooth driving as well, taking care of his truck, taking care of the tires, not getting ahead of himself by making any wild strategy moves here in Stage 1, knows that it's a long race, sees the big picture, and here he is leading the race at Charlotte. I would like to remind everybody, Nick Francesco in the 24, the black and orange Chevy Silverado is popping into frame every now and then on our screen, and he's gaining ground on the race leader, Stephen Corley. I don't think he's got enough time to get there before the end of Stage 1. Time will tell. You can hear the fans cheering in turns 1 and 2. They know that we're down to crunch time, down to the final laps here in Stage 1. Coming up on one slower truck in front of them, it's Robert Lohman Sr. in the 21. I'm not sure if they're going to get to him in time before the end of this stage. Actually, they might. I believe Robert had a bit of trouble there through 3 and 4, and that's allowing the leaders to close up on him. And here comes Nick Francesco. They both clear Robert. And they are heading into turn 3 now. He's only about 3-4 truck lengths behind Stephen Corley. In fact, Stephen slipped up a little bit in 3 and 4 there. Wasn't able to hold the bottom as good as Nick was. Coming to the line, it's only a 2 truck length advantage. He's there. Can Stephen hold him off, or will the fresher tires prevail for Nick Francesco? And to the outside goes the 24. Coming out of 4, contact is made. Stephen had to chase it down to the grass. Nick Francesco leads this lap. And they're not done. Stephen's not done. He's got the preferred line through 1 and 2, trying to make it stick and keep the Ford F-150 alongside that Chevy Silverado. Nick got the run there down the back straightaway that he needed. Stephen Corley drove it in deep, trying to get to the tailgate of the 24, and he's not going to be able to do it. Out of 4, Nick Francesco, and the 24 hits the wall a little bit. Stephen Corley was all over the tailgate coming to the line. And it's Nick Francesco picking up the Stage 1 win. Stephen's going to have to settle for second, but that is still 4 points going to him. Jesse Carlson in the 88 is going to finish in third. Get 3 points given to him. Alex Tesdall in the 98 finishes in fourth. Harold Burden in the 56 rounds out the top 5. Those drivers receive the stage points. Shout out to Jordan Roughton and Lance Shark. I believe they're scored in 6th and 7th at the end of Stage 1. And if that's what the battle for the Stage 1 win was like, I can't wait to see what the battle for the win at the end of this race looks like. 20 drivers started this race, and I believe that we have 17 drivers on the lead lap, and we'll have to see who can make the right adjustments, who can find the right speed, the right line around this racetrack, and wheel it to the front and perhaps pick up the Education 200 win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There you see them. They're all locked and loaded. Double file coming out of 4 to the restart zone. And the green flag back in the air. Heading into 1. Still 2 by 2. Nick Francesco, Stephen Corley, Jesse Carlson jumps to the inside of the 88, looking for second, and it looks like he's going to clear him coming out of 2. They're fanning out 3 wide down the back stretch. They haven't been this congested since the start of the race. Looking for the lead, down on the inside, Jesse Carlson in the 88. Land Shark in the 26, making his third start here in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series, fourth rather, and he's now going to the inside with Jesse in the 88, just behind them. Harold Burton in the 56 wiggled a little bit. I'm not sure if contact was made or not. Stephen Corley takes the fourth position because of it. Harold's kind of stuck up on the outside just a little bit, and they're still 2x2 from about fifth on back. Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23 down to the inside, looking for sixth on Jordan Roughton in the 17. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 right there with him, along with Beam SKP, Jordan Green, Jordan Roughton, and others. Oh, somebody found the wall there in turn 4. Everybody held on to it, and we stayed green. No cautions yet for an on-track incident. Only one yellow, bringing out the end of stage 1. And Jesse Carlson has taken the race lead in the number 88 Ford F-150 for Steel Horse Motorsports. Oh, now Land Shark in the 26 goes to the inside, and he's going to try to take the lead for the first time in this race. We've seen 6 different leaders since the drop of the green flag, and actually more since we had a cycle of green flag pit stops, and Land Shark is going to lead this lap. These drivers seem so evenly matched. They stay close together. They use the draft to their advantage. They wait and time their run perfectly, and they often use the bottom line. But we've also seen Nick Francesco in the 24 and others use the top side to gain positions, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And even if you do lose touch with the front group, it's never too late, folks. You get a couple of drivers just in front of you or just behind you, and you guys don't battle for a few laps, you'd be amazed to see how much ground you do gain on the race leaders. Stephen Corley has retaken the top spot with Nick Francesco close in tow in second, and Land Shark in the 26 running in third. They're changing the lead about every 2 or 3 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But it's a hornet's nest of about 12 trucks in this lead group. 20 drivers started the race. We had 17 on the lead lap at the end of stage 1, and still everybody, or for the most part, everybody has a shot to win this race. Stage 2, of course, about only 27, 28 laps in length, so these drivers are still going to have to pit once in the stage, but they might be able to stretch those tires a little bit further and maybe not necessarily need to stay on pit road for 4 tires. It's going to be interesting to see. Keep your eye on Jesse Carlson. 2 wins in the last 3 races for him in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Currently scored in 4th. He's got a bit of a gap to the truck behind him. Harold Burton running in 5th in the 56. And he still has a little bit of the draft there with the top 3 and a couple of good laps in a row. And if they start battling again, he'll be right there. In fact, coming out of 2, he closed the gap considerably. And now he's right there on the tailgate, or pretty much there on the tailgate, with the 26 of Land Shark. Jesse watching his teammate Stephen Corley lead the way in the 99. And a great season for Stephen. 1 win, like I said early on the broadcast, coming earlier at Homestead Miami Speedway earlier this season, winning the Holiday Bash 200. First ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win for him, and it would mean the world to him. I know it. I talked to him a lot in between the races, before and after, and these wins, these top 5s, they mean a lot to Stephen Corley, and he's glad he came back full-time here this year in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series, and it would mean the world to him to get a second win with even more playoff points. With battles all over the racetrack, this is what the battle for 5th on back looks like. Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23 just took it away from Harold Burton in the 56. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. for Rockstar Racing followed him through in the Toyota Tundra, and he's now running in 6th. Jordan Roughton in the 17 Ford going to do the same, and it seems like when a truck just gets hung out to dry on the outside, sometimes that can spell trouble, and and Harold's kind of finding that right now. He drops back to the 9th position. Team SKP having a great run. He just took 9th away from Harold Burton. He's been inside the top 12 all race long, and they're all actually going to go by Landshark. I didn't see exactly what happened to him there on the back straightaway. He must have got out of shape in turn 2. If so, what a save, and he's going to keep going. He's still on the lead lap, but this drops him now to the 12th position, just behind Bradley Gilliland, the number 38 Ford F-150, newly signed driver to No Shift Motorsports, and just behind Landshark is Alex Tesdall in the 98, and still in good company here. Timmy Brown running in the 15th position. And I believe that the incident with Landshark involved the 88 machine of Jesse Carlson, because Jesse is no longer up there running in the 4th position, and I know that he was right on the tailgate of Landshark when Landshark had whatever incident and mishap happened to him. Now we can tell you Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23 up there in 3rd. Jordan Roughton just took the 4th position away from Jeffrey Robinson Jr. Jesse Carlson going to follow him through. Bean SKP in the 16 truck is on pit road for Rockstar Racing scheduled service here in Stage 2. Battle for the lead right there. And now here's the battle for 3rd on back, and changing positions every lap here. And once you get free of a couple of these drivers and they don't battle you for a couple of corners, you can really show your speed. If you have tires left and you have good speed here, you can sometimes get away and start catching the trucks in front of you and running them down. Jesse Carlson, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Bradley Gilliland, they're all on pit road, as well as Dustin McClintock in the 0. We'll keep our eye on the top 2 here, see when they decide to come down pit road. There was no signal on the back straightaway. Often these drivers will go down below the white line on the back straightaway to signal to anybody behind them that they're coming to pit road. As of now, they're both going to stay on the racetrack, and might be a good call, folks, because if a caution were to come out and you've already been on pit road and gotten your tires and fuel, you're definitely trapped 1 lap down to these 2. And you definitely don't want that. There's Jesse Carlson coming back onto the racetrack. So the top 4, top 5 are still yet to come to pit road. Stephen Corley, John Francesco, Josh Cole-Diaz, Jordan Roughton, and Harold Burton. And now Josh is actually going to come to pit road now for his service in the 23. Dave Marks Jr. in the 4 coming to pit road as well. And the entire green flag cycle of pit stops is nearly complete. You're watching the Education 200 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Stephen Corley ducking to pit road in the 99. Nick Don Francesco is not coming to pit road quite yet. He stays on the racetrack. He's going to lead this lap, and we'll see how far he's willing to go. We saw that it nearly got him in trouble in Stage 1, but he was able to get around Stephen Corley to get the Stage 1 win in the end with those fresher tires. We'll have to see how it goes for him here in Stage 2. We can also tell you that Jordan Roughton still on the racetrack as well. Here comes Nick down pit road. Here comes Jordan in the 17 down pit road as well. In fact, I don't know, he might have been speeding. He looked really quick coming to pit road. We'll have to see if this costs him. If not, he might have gained a lot of track time there. And there's Jordan Green. 6-time NOSSCAR champion on the pole for this race, led the opening 4 laps, and he's been running inside the top 12 ever since, but just kind of been stuck in traffic, and trying to get that track position back has been tough for him. It's hard to make passes here, and once you do make the pass, it's hard to drive away. from the drivers behind you, and they can often stay on your tailgate and continue to hound you for that position, and before you know it, both drivers have lost some time on the track to everyone around them. And after the cycle of pit stops, I believe that, Beam SKP in the 16 was the leader there, or running in second rather, but he kind of got nudged out of the way. He's on older tires. He elected to short pit in this stage. Here comes Alex Tesdall in the 98 down pit road. So the cycle of pit stops is still not yet complete, but I believe when it does, it's going to be Harold Burton leading the race in the number 56 Chevy Silverado. With Jesse Carlson running in second, Nick Donfrancesco in third, and Stephen Corley running in fourth. No wins this season for Harold. Long-time NASCAR driver, started with us back on NASCAR 15. He has wins in NASCAR on NASCAR 15. Wins here on the Heat games as well, but it has been a while, and he's made the Final Four for a NASCAR series before. He'd like to do it again. And he's coming to pit road in the number 56 Silverado, so evidently he had not been to pit road for service. This is going to hand the lead over to Jesse Carlson in the number 88 Ford F-150 for Steelhorse Motorsports, and there you see him. He's being chased by Nick Donfrancesco in the 24, who has slightly fresher tires, and Stephen Corley in the 99 does as well. Going into 3, the power move to the bottom with the fresh Goodyear Eagles. Nick Donfrancesco retakes the top spot. Looking to win stage 2. He won stage 1. Comes in as the points leader here tonight. And Stephen Corley going to try to do the same thing here. Goes to the inside of his teammate to take the second position away. Josh Colin-Diaz in the 23 is scored in the 4th position. Jordan Roughton in 5th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. running in 6th. In the long cycles too, I believe that Harold Burton is running in 7th. Cameron Norton in the 3 runs in 8th. Landshark runs in the 9th position. Rounding out the top 10, Bradley Gilliland in the number 38 Ford F-150. There's Beam SKP running at 11th. Jordan Green running 12th. That's your top 12 after the green flag cycle of pit stops here in stage 2. We're in the final laps of stage 2. 20 drivers started this race, and at the start of stage 2 we had 18 drivers on the lead lap. I believe we're going to have 17 on the lead lap, maybe 16, when we take the green flag for the final stage. Nice to see Beam having a good run there. Lone full-time driver out of France, and finished 22nd in the Winter Heat Series Qualify round event at the Indy Roval, and he was really excited about that, really happy and honored to get such good results, and he's having a good run here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway here in the Education 200, running in 11th. He's very excited about the Indy Roval truck event coming later tonight. Out of 4, the fans are still cheering on. Nick Donfrancesco in the 24, he crosses the stripe. And he wins stage 2. Stephen Corley in the 99 is going to finish in the 2nd position. Jesse Carlson in the 88 in 3rd, Josh Colin-Diaz in 4th, rounding out the top 5 to get the final stage point is Jordan Roughton in the number 17 Ford F-150. He's still looking for his first career NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win as well. The top 4 drivers in the running order in this race have a win this season. Jordan Roughton looking to break through in the number 17. He runs in 5th, as is Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. He's scored in the 6th position, looking for that first career win as well. We've been lean, mean, clean, and green since the drop of the green flag in the Education 200 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and no cautions for on-track incidents, only 2 for the ends of the stages, and now we have them double file lined up coming into the restart zone. The green flag is back in the air. Final stage time at Charlotte. Into turn 1. Don Francesco clears Stephen Corley to take the lead, and Stephen slides into second in front of his teammate Jesse Carlson. Josh Colm-Diaz runs in the 4th position to 23. Jordan Roughton in 5th, pretty much where they left off from stage 2. And now to the bottom goes Stephen Corley in the 99. A little bit deeper in the field there. There was a little bit of contact. Dave Marks Jr. in the 4 was able to gather it up. A couple of trucks lost some time because of it. That was Dustin McClintock in the 20 truck going through the grass just a little bit deeper in the field. And now good battles all over the racetrack. They spread out a little bit. Now going into turn 3. Stephen still has the lead with his teammate Jesse right behind him. Josh Colm-Diaz running in 3rd. Jordan Roughton finds himself up to 4th in the 17. Harold Burden in 5th. Gran Shark in the 26 runs in 6th. There you see him, and they're side by side for the 8th and 9th positions. That was Jordan Green taking 8th away from Beam SKP. Rounding out the top 10 is Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. Still about, there's 13 trucks in this lead group. And how about the patriotic tribute paint job there for Daniel McGriff in the number 13. Runs in the 11th position right now. Driver for Steel Horse Motorsports, currently in a playoff spot coming into this race here tonight. And when he leaves here, if he were to finish where he's running, he would still be in a playoff spot. 12 drivers make the 2021 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series playoffs. Now looking to the inside of Beam SKP, that's a battle for 10th and 11th right there. Alex Tesdall in the 98 just behind him in 12th, and Cameron Norton in the 3 running in 13th. Dustin McClintock runs in 14th. Timmy Brown in 15th. Excuse me, it's Bradley Gilliland actually in 15th. Dave Marks Jr. in 16th, and Timmy Brown running in the 17th position. 18 trucks left on the racetrack. 20 started the event. Meanwhile, I'm going to say back up front, but this is actually the second group of trucks. Nick Don Francesco takes the 4th position. Land Shark in 5th. Jordan Green, the 6-time champ, finds his way all the way back up inside the up into the 6th position rather. The pole sitter for this race. He's on his way back to the front. The question is, can they run down the top 3, folks? There you see them. They just flashed by, and they're logging good laps right now, and it doesn't appear that any of them are stepping out of line and battling for these 3 positions. Stephen Corley safely, comfortably leading the way with Jesse Carlson in 2nd, Josh Colm-Diaz in 3rd. And I think that these drivers are done short pitting here in this final stage. Anyways, I think that they're going to try to run the tires and the fuel tanks dry and make sure that they make as few pit stops as possible here in the final stage, and maybe short pit once the fuel window opens where they can make it to the end. But other than that, I don't see anybody short pitting throughout the entire final stage in this one. Should see them all coming in together. To the inside goes Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23, and that's a battle for the 2nd position. Oh, and never mind, we have a caution on the racetrack, folks. First caution of the day for an on-track incident. I didn't see what happened. It had to have been a little bit deeper in the field. I believe that... we're getting word that Dave Marks Jr. and Timmy Brown and Beam SKP were all involved in this one. There's Beam, and you can see the front end damage to the number 16 Toyota Tundra there for Rockstar Racing. He's going to have to come down pit road to get that patched up, but this really does allow all these drivers to to catch back up to the race leader and maybe battle for the win in this one. We'll work in the final stage of the Education 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and there you see the front row belongs to Steel Horse Motorsports. 1 and 2, Jesse Carlson, Stephen Corley, green flag back in the air. Oh, all the way up against the wall went Nick Francesco in the 24. I didn't see exactly how. It looked like he just got out of shape entering turn 1. And down the back straightaway and into turn 3 they go. Jordan Green found the wall. Heading into turn 3, he might have even had a little bit of help. He got it settled and back into line. He held up a couple of drivers just behind him, like Daniel McGriff in the 13, but everyone held on to it so far. We're still green. Like I said, only 1 yellow so far for an on-track incident. They were nearly 3 wide for second, third, and fourth. Stephen Corley, there was contact made with he and Landshark in the 26. Stephen had to chase that truck all the way down onto the apron on the back straightaway. Gathered it back up. We're all good. Jesse Carlson leads. Josh Cole Diaz in second. And it's a side-by-side battle for fourth and fifth there. Jordan Roughton in the 17. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. Jeffrey kind of getting hung out to dry on the top groove there. As we see, Jordan Roughton goes by. Stephen Corley, Nick Francesco, they do as well. Jordan Green in the 00 tried to get by. Couldn't quite do it. The top 8 have kind of separated themselves a little bit from the rest of the field. And then in 9th, it's Daniel McGriff. And 10th is Harold Burden in the 56. Right there with them is Alex Tesdall in the 98. In 11th, and Dave Marks Jr. runs in 12th. 3 wide there for a moment. Jordan Roughton went up, maybe even scraped the wall a little bit in 1 and 2. No harm done, no tire cut on the number 17. And whoa, Nick got really loose going into turn 3, and he found the side of the 26 truck of Landshark, and the caution comes out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The points leader got way out of control going into 3, and heavy contact was made, and this is going to bring out the second caution of the race for an on-track incident in the Education 200. And all the damage you can see to that 24 Silverado and all the track position that he's lost already. Once the drivers have passed the most recent scoring loops, he's going to be on pit road for quite some time. And they're lined up, double file, 2 by 2. The front row still belongs to the teammates of Steel Horse Motorsports. The Ford's looking strong in this one. Green flag is back in the air. We're still watching the final stage of the Education 200. Oh, there might have even been some contact there between the two teammates. Steven now trying to get in front of the 23. He wasn't quite clear. He might be now. And if he isn't, he's going to be by the time he gets to turn 3. He got a heck of a push from Jordan Roughton in the 17, also a Ford. Not necessarily a teammate to the Steel Horse Motorsports Fords, but Ford Power getting the job done here at Charlotte. Whoa, they were 3 wide there for a moment. Landshark went all the way up into the wall, and then Harold Burden bumped him again there. Looked like Landshark was a little bit out of shape, and then when he tried to correct it, the truck came to the left, and Harold was there, and Harold might have even taken exception to that, I'm not sure, but oh! And more contact made there. Nick Francesco in the 24. Putting Landshark up in the wall there. I'm not really sure what all the animosity is towards the 26 truck. He's running clean out there. Taking a short break from full commentary, folks. You are watching the Education 200 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They are in the final stage, 134 lap event, but we've already completed stage 1. We've already completed stage 2. Nick Don Francesco in the 24 won stage 1 and 2. But right now, pretty much his closest competitor in terms of speed and decision-making and smooth driving has been Stephen Corley all race long, and he is the one leading the way here at Charlotte Motor Speedway on NASCAR Heat 5. Jesse Carlson in second, Josh Colombiez in third, the six-time NASCAR champion Jordan Green running in fourth, Jordan Roughton rounding out the top 5. We'll come right back with full commentary in just a matter of moments. We'll keep our cameras on the action.
And we're back bringing you live full commentary again here for the Education 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series action continues here. And they're rocking and rolling in the final stage. Stephen Corley has the lead. Jesse Carlson runs in the second position. Josh Colin-Diaz in the 23 runs in third, and he's getting a good push there from Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51, who runs in fourth. And Nick Francesco in the 24, now all the way back up into the fifth position. He won stage 1 and 2, so watch him in the 24. He might be able to run up there and do something about the Steel Horse Motorsports Fords. There you see him. And Shark in the 26 on pit road. Dave Marks Jr. in the 4 on pit road. So green flag cycles of pit stops in the final stage beginning. We went caution-free for the entire race in stage 1 and 2 for on-track incidents until the final stage, where we had 2 yellows, quick ones, towards the beginning. And these drivers are really changing up their fuel strategy for this final stage based on that. And we expect a lot of them on pit road here within the next couple of laps. Oh, and here come a few of them. Jordan Roughton tried to get slowed up there, but he got tagged by Harold Burton in the 56. He's going to lose a bit of track time because of that, but he makes it to pit road, as did Josh Colin-Diaz in the 23 and Beam SKP in the 16. Keeping our eye on the lead bunch here, seeing when they come down pit road. We know how important tires are here. We've seen track position gained and lost based on when these pit stops are made during the cycles. And Stephen Corley comes to pit road. Jesse Carlson's going to stay out one more time. One or more anyways, and Nick Francesco does as well in the 24. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 doing the same. There you see them. Harold Burton in the 56. Alex Tesdall in the 98. And Jordan Green in the 00. That's your top 6. They're still on the racetrack. They have not been to pit road just yet. And here come a few more. Each time they come by the pit road entrance, it's even more tempting. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. The 51 comes to pit road. Leading third to Harold Burton, Alex Tesdall fourth, Jordan Green in fifth. They are yet to come to pit road for their scheduled stops. I believe that it's Dustin McClintock in the 20, running in the 6th position. He's yet to be on the pit road as well. Alex Tesdall in the 98 gets it slowed up. He's coming to pit road, as is Nick Francesco and the 6-time NOSSCAR champion Jordan Green. And it's exciting, folks, because every single one of these drivers that was running up there in the lead group of about 9 or 10 trucks, they still all have a great shot at winning this race. They have good track position here in the final stage, and that's what matters. As long as you're on the lead lap and in that lead group, which is often a pretty big group of trucks, you've got a good chance. Jesse Carlson, the last of the leaders to come to pit road for scheduled service, I believe. Anyways, we're going to take a quick scan around the racetrack to confirm that for everybody. And maybe not, folks. I believe that Harold Burton has yet to come to pit road. We'll have to see here. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. is actually going to be in front of the 24 at the end of all of this cycle. Those drivers were in the top 5 before the cycle of pit stops. And here comes Harold Burton in the 56. Like I suspected, he had not been to pit road yet, so he was the leader when we were waiting for this cycle of pit stops to complete itself here. There's Bradley Gilland in the 38, Ford F-150 for No Shift Motorsports, coming back onto the racetrack, and it'll be interesting to see where this cycles everybody through in terms of the running order. I believe that this is what the battle for the lead looks like once the green flag cycle of pit stops is over. Jason Armstrong in the 15 stayed out an extra time there, so he's the leader, but once these two cross the start-finish line and pass by pit road this time, it's going to be Josh Colin-Diaz in the 23
leading the Education 200 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now Stephen Corley looking to the inside. He's there. And Josh trying to shut the door. He threw the block when Stephen was definitely already there, and contact was made. Stephen had to chase that truck through the grass a little bit and held on to it. It's allowing Jesse Carlson in the 88 to gain ground on both of them. Might be smarter for Josh to let the truck with the fresher tires go by. Fall in line, use the draft, and stay with them. Stephen looking again low, same part of the racetrack. Stephen Corley now can't quite get the nose of that Ford there. Josh drove it in deep to keep the lead and keep the position on Stephen Corley. So the top five is Josh, Stephen, Jesse, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., and Nick Don Francesco. Running in sixth is Jordan Green, the pole sitter. Seventh is Jordan Rowdy. Eighth is Alex Tesdall. Ninth is the 26 truck of Landshark, and can't quite see the truck. Oh, Jordan Routon in the 17 found the apron, so move Alex Tesdall up into the 8th position. Landshark up into the 8th position. Alex Tesdall now scored in 7th, and that's a tough break for Jordan Routon. He had a good shot to win this race. Good speed all race long, and lost a couple of positions from that. And Stephen Corley has worked his way around Josh Colombiez to take the race lead. Now this is going into 3 and 4. Both drivers took a similar line, and Josh's goal at this point is just to try to hang with the 99 as much as he possibly can. Stay in the draft with him. He's doing a good job. Pardon me. In the 8th position is Harold Burden, and 9th is Beam SKP, and 10th Landshark. Bradley Gilliland in the 11th position right there with him, as well as Dave Marks Jr. in the 4. He's in 12th, and that's the battle we're watching on the screen right now. Harold Burden has the fresher tires of this group. He's stayed out longer than anybody. So at this point, he really does want this entire run to go the entire distance and stay green. Whereas drivers like Landshark in the 26 who elected to short pit are maybe begging for a caution at this point. Landshark about to lose the 10th position to Bradley Gilliland in the 38. Nick Don Francesco has worked his way around Jeffrey Robinson Jr. for 4th. And this is still the battle for the lead. Josh trying to stay with the 99 Ford F-150 of Stephen Corley. Stephen's been one of the top 2 faster trucks of the race. It's pretty much been a battle mostly between the 24 and the 99, maybe even the 88. And the 23 has been kind of mired in traffic since the drop of the green flag. He's still been fast and competitive, but just struggled to get up there and lead laps in this one. So at this point, Josh just, needs to ride, stay in the draft, and wait for another cycle of green flag pit stops, because I do believe that these drivers need to come to pit road again before we see the checkered flag. Fans are cheering. They want a lead change. Or they're just happy with the action that we're seeing here. There's the battle for 6th and 7th. Alex Tesdall is gaining ground of Jordan Green in the 00, and Harold Burden in the 56 runs in 8th. He's gaining ground on both of them. To the inside goes Josh Colombiez in turn 3. He's looking to take the lead back from Stephen Corley. He's not giving up. 2 wins this year for Josh in that 23 truck. He won the Tailgate 250 at Daytona, starting the season off on a high note, and he takes the lead back from Stephen Corley, and this would This would give him a third win this season if he can hold on and win. The Education 200 at Charlotte gets a little bit, got a little bit out of shape coming out of turn 2. Held on to it. He's going to take a defensive line into 3. Holds the bottom. Stephen Corley says no problem, and he goes to the outside. Never mind, folks. Josh Colm-Diaz is coming to pit road for scheduled service. And this is huge, folks. This is maybe even a little too early. This might be a part of some sort of strategy. They might be in the fuel window where they can make it to the end of the race from here if they pit. Cameron Norton in the 3. Teammates at Timac Motorsports there with Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23. He's on pit road. Only 2 trucks, only 2 takers on pit road right now. And it leaves the lead with Stephen Corley in the 99. Jesse Carlson, his teammate, runs in second, and Jesse's been slowly chipping away at the lead over the course of this run ever since they made those first set of green flag pit stops. Now Stephen Corley went a little bit low there on the back straightaway. It might have been actually signaling that he's coming to pit road this time, and he is. Jesse Carlson stays out. Dustin McClintock in the 20 on pit road as well, just in front of Stephen Corley. So Jesse takes the lead with Nick Donfrancesco second and Jeffrey Robinson Jr. third. It's going to be interesting to see where everybody winds up on the leaderboard when this all cycles through, because a lot of these drivers are gaining positions for a short period of time with these short pit stops, short pitting, and they're sometimes losing them over the course of the long run, and a speeding penalty on pit road would change everything, throw a wrench into anyone's strategy at this point. So Jesse leads with Nick in second, and Nick actually showing a little bit of signs of life and gaining some ground on the tailgate of the 88, and this is down the back straightaway now. To pit road is Nick Donfrancesco in the 24. And Jesse Carlson staying out for quite a while here before coming down for his scheduled service. And we can also tell you that Harold Burden in the 56 is doing the same thing. He's yet to be to pit road for his second stop under green flag conditions here in the final stage. We were lean, mean, clean, and green for stage 1, and lean, mean, clean, and green for stage 2. Here in the final stage, we've had 2 yellows for on-track incidents. They both came earlier towards the beginning of the stage, and since then, we've had a long green flag run. And contact was made there between Dustin McClintock and Stephen Corley, and I don't know if Dustin knew he was down there or not. I'm really not too sure, but around went the 99. Heavy damage to the front end of that Ford F-150, and he's going to keep going, but he's lost a number of positions, and that is a tough break. He had the strongest truck and arguably the best chance to win this race. And he's coming to pit road to repair the damage. That is a shame. He was right there gaining ground on Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23, and that was going to be the battle for the lead once this cycle of pit stops was over. Alex was on pit road in the 98 as well, his teammate. Scheduled service, and there's Jesse Carlson in the 88, and I believe that he's going to be running in second when this is all done. It depends on how quickly he gets on and off pit road. He got on to pit road pretty quickly there, and here he comes. Surrenders the race lead, and let's see, yes, Harold Burden in the 56 stays on the racetrack for another circuit. He's trying to make some sort of strategy happen here.
And Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23 gaining a lot of ground on him, but he's got those fresh tires. I believe Josh Cole-Diaz is going to be the leader when this all cycles through, but he's going to have Nick Francesco, his teammate in the 24, on fresh tires trying to run him down. And then Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 running in third. He'll be on slightly fresher tires than the 23 as well. Jesse Carlson just came out of the pits. You just saw him there. So see where he lines up, and he's going to be in the 4th position when Harold Burden decides to come to pit road in the 56. Right now he is the leader, and he's trying to make some sort of strategy happen here. Stretch those tires and stretch the fuel as much as he can, make as few pit stops as possible, and as long as the race stays green the entire distance to the checkered flag, this should benefit Harold, might even get him his first win of the season. And here he comes now. He's going to surrender the lead. He comes to pit road. So once these leaders come all the way around once, they will, that should give the lead over, to Josh Cole-Diaz in the 23. Nick Francesco is going to be running in 2nd in the 24. 3rd is Jesse Carlson in the 88. 4th is Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. And Jordan Green, the pole sitter and 6-time NASCAR champion, running in 5th when this all cycles through. As soon as they pass pit road here, they're going to pick up that position from Harold Burden. Freshest tires amongst all the leaders is Jesse Carlson in that 88 Ford F-150. He's in 3rd. He just finished working his way around Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. I believe the 24 and the 51 are on the same strategy. They pit around the same lap, and here comes Nick Francesco using those 4 fresh tires, gets all the way to the tailgate of the 23. There might have even been contact. I didn't see what happened there. And I believe that actually Josh Cole-Diaz just had a connection issue, and he is off the racetrack and done for the day, and that is a heartbreaker. He was the race leader right in front of Nick Francesco, and Josh is out of the race in the 23. I was wondering where his truck went, because it was about right here, and then when the camera panned, his truck was no longer to be seen, and Nick Francesco is the new leader. Jesse Carlson in 2nd, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in 3rd. I can't believe what we just saw. That is a heartbreaker for the Tailgate 250 winner at Daytona. Josh Cole-Diaz here in the late laps too at Charlotte, and it's not what he wanted. He had a good strategy. He's been short pitting to get track position, and he was doing a good job at holding off trucks that were a little bit quicker than him on the fresher tires, like Stephen Corley and Nick Francesco, drivers that were on different fuel strategies and tire strategies. And this changes everything, because now it seems to be a 3-horse race at this point. 20 drivers started this race, and 3 of them are within striking distance of picking up the win here tonight, I believe, unless a yellow comes out, and that's Nick Francesco, Jesse Carlson, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. You can see him coming all into frame. There's Nick. And there's Jesse. And then there is Jeffrey. Jordan Green runs in 4th, and he's got Stephen Corley right behind him. This is the battle for 4th and 5th. Dave Marks Jr. in the 4 comes to pit road. Alex Pesdall in the 98 scored in the 6th position, front row seat for this battle that we're watching between these two. Harold Burden scored in 7th, and Harold's got the quickest tires, or the fresher tires of anybody. And he's trying to put them to good use in these
final laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And what he's really hoping for is that everybody else has a tire problem or runs out of fuel. And he's hoping that he can make it the entire distance, and if he can, he would be the winner here. He's the top of the leaderboard for the drivers that have been running the strategy he's been on, and there's been nobody staying out as long as Harold has. And the amazing part about it is he's been running competitive lap times while accomplishing all of this. And a couple of trucks just in front of your leaders that they will need to deal with here over the course of the next maybe 6 laps, 5 laps. They should catch them, maybe less. And Nick Francesco has company for the race lead. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 is fading just a little bit for Rockstar Racing, running in 3rd. And Nick's got company with Jesse Carlson in the 88. Steel Horse Motorsports Ford and Timac Motorsports Chevy going to battle for the win here in the Education 200. Question is, can they stretch it as far as Harold can in the 56? Like I said, he's running in 7th, and he's hoping that everybody needs to come to pit road again. Bradley Gittleland in the 38 scored in the 8th position, having a good run. Haven't spoken too much about him. Qualified outside the top 10, worked his way inside the top 10 after stage 1. Ran around in the top 10 for most of stage 2. Here he is running in 8th in the late stages of this race. Should also let you know Beam SKP running in 9th for Rockstar Racing in that number 16 Toyota Tundra. These drivers all doing what they can to hold on and get the best finish they possibly can. Looks like Landshark in the 26 is coming to pit road. And Harold Burden is slow on the racetrack. I didn't see exactly what happened there. There's a couple of trucks slow on the racetrack here. We might have a caution on the racetrack. We're going to wait for the official word here, and this would shake up everything. And receiving word, folks, that was the finish. The checkered flags are in the air. No in-race reporter tonight, folks. I do apologize. Nick Francesco wins the Education 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Jesse Carlson in the 88 is going to finish in 2nd. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. finishes in 3rd. 20 trucks started this race. And when it was all said and done, the points leader comes into tonight with some dominant racing and some good speed. He wins stage 1. He wins stage 2. He parks it in victory lane. What a show and what a run, what an effort for Nick Francesco. And going to have a couple of post-race interviews for you before we completely wrap things up for you here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fastest lap of the race goes to Harold Burden in the number 56. Good run. And we're going to get the post-race interviews started here. Finishing in 3rd, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., driver of the number 51 Toyota Tundra for Rockstar Racing. Jeffrey, it was a wild up-and-down night for you. For the most part, you ran inside the top 10, and in the final stage, we saw a long green flag run after those quick 2 yellows that we had, and you were able to slowly but surely work your way forward. You made very few mistakes, and you were able to capitalize and finish 3rd here tonight. Tell us how you were able to do it, and tell us how the truck was feeling since the drop of the green flag.
You came into tonight second in the point standings. This is certainly going to keep you up there. How does it feel knowing that you are one of the guys that everyone looks at as a threat to win coming into these races every week? Well, you're doing a great job doing that. Congratulations on your third place finish and best of luck to you in your future races. And rolling over now, we have Jesse Carlson, driver of the number 88 Ford F-150 for Steel Horse Motorsports, parked in second here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You led laps, you ran strong. Like I said to Jeffrey, we had that long green flag run in the final stage, and drivers were short pitting, staying out as long as they could before they had to pit, and then they would pit. Did you know going into this race what you were going to do with a strategy like that? And what was your strategy in mind?
Well, I started listening to Trouble because he was putting out good advice on safe tires and everything, so we could make it to like 4 laps or something on fuel. And had a good race. Stayed up in the front as best as I could. Pulled away from the people that were like the fifth on back, and great race. Thanks for all my teammates and everyone else racing. My truck was good tonight, and hope to do good at the Indy Roval here in just a bit.
Another second place finish. You came into tonight fifth in the point standings with 2 wins. It's another playoff point for you. NOSSCAR's point system awards a playoff point to the second and third place finishers at the ends of the races. What does this mean to you as a driver moving forward and the momentum that it gives you?
Well, and just make sure to race clean, just take it easy, and just race and have fun.
We wish you the best of luck in your future races. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you.
And to victory lane we go, and we find the driver of the number 24 Chevy Silverado for Timac Motorsports. That is Nick Francesco. Came in as the points leader and stretching the points lead a little bit, that's for sure. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, I mentioned to them we had a long green flag run in the final stage. It seemed like you were the class of the field, you and Stephen Corley maybe, before we did have the long green flag run. What did you expect when that started to unfold that way? Did you have a strategy as more laps were winding down in the final stage? What was going through your mind?
Just hoping I had enough tires and gas to make it to the end, really. I didn't really have a strategy planned throughout the whole race. I just went with whatever my truck was giving me. And pretty much that was it.
Did you get a little bit spooked when some of the drivers like Jesse Carlson and Harold Burden were able to stretch their tires and fuel as long as they did?
I got a little bit worried about some of them, but not all.
How about the drivers who short pitted, such as the 23?
I knew he was gonna have to save his tires a little bit more than the rest of us were, so I knew I was gonna be able to reel him down as I was saving my stuff. So, and then he had a little connection issue, so that made it all a little bit easier.
Second win of the season for you. Like I mentioned, you're the points leader, and I mentioned during the broadcast as well that you just recently made the Final Four for the Giggity Racing League Truck Series. You won the regular season championship for them in the Truck Series over there as well. What is it about the trucks on NASCAR Heat 5 that allows you to find so much success in them?
That's a question I'll never be able to answer because I don't know.
Well, at least he's honest, folks. You heard it from him, right from his mouth. Congratulations, Nick Francesco. You just won the Education 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, what a heck of a race we just witnessed, folks. 134 laps. Stage 1 was a 30-lapper. Stage 2 was a 27, 26-lapper, I believe. And it was lean, mean, clean, and green for all of Stage 1, all of Stage 2. We saw a rash of 2 or 3 on-track yellows for on-track incidents in the final stage to start it off. But once we got the ball rolling, we never looked back. And it was Nick Francesco
parking it in victory lane for the second time here in the 2021 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season. Up next, we have the NASCAR Truck Series race at the Indy Roval. Live coverage will not be brought to you, but look for the highlight reel on the NASCAR YouTube channel within a couple of days. Thank you very much, everybody who tuned in to Tailgate Tuesday. We hope everybody out there is staying safe and healthy, and stay fast, folks.